Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Billy and Jill's conflict, the attack by Victor and Jack, and Nate's decision. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, October 3rd, 2025 have been released. Fans can expect Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, to agree on a plan of attack against Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. In the meantime, Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, and Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, reopen old wounds. Continue reading, and now let's talk about the upcoming CBS soap opera episode. Be sure to check out the spoilers for our weekly Y&R here. Victor Newman's alliance. Let's start off with Victor and Jack's risky alliance. Although Jack is right that they will have a better chance of protecting their companies together, Nikki Newman, Melody Scott Thomas, is right to be concerned. The blonde has no reservations about Jack, but it is about her own husband. The woman even told Victor that she fears he will use the alliance to strike back at Jack later on. Read more, find out what happened on the last episode of Y&R. Jack Abbott's attack agreement. Meanwhile, Jack and Victor need to agree on a plan of attack. After strategizing and bouncing around ideas a bit, they will come up with a plan. Will this help them protect their companies from Kane? So far, Kane has surprised Victor and hasn't taken any of his deals. So, Victor and Jack might come up with a few different tactics depending on Kane's next moves. Jill Abbott versus Billy Abbott. Billy, who will once again confront his mother, will also be there. The man is still furious and full of rage over Jill selling Chancellor to Victor. After that, Billy cut his mother out of his life. The man will only reopen old wounds with his mother, not improve the situation. Jill and Billy still love each other very much. However, it appears that it may require multiple meetings to resolve their disagreements. The feud was so bad that Billy didn't even rush to his mother's side when her heart troubles returned. At the same time, Billy is acting like an overgrown brat. The man isn't entitled to anything, no matter whose name is on the building. Read this, The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle stunned as true love Summer engaged to new man, rushes to stop her. Friday, October 3rd, 2025. There is also Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, difficult dilemma. It's clear that Nate and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, still care about each other. Nate has never wavered, despite Audra's repeated pleas for remorse. This time, could he decide to give the brunette another chance? Plus, Claire Grace Newman, Haley Erin, should be getting ready to escape Genoa City with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, won't be far behind, though. Jack's trick, Audra's war, Victor's takedown. The Young and the Restless spoilers are in for Monday, October 6th, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, to have a trick up his sleeve. Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, plots a takedown of an enemy. Plus, Kyle Abbott, Michael Miller, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, reach a point of no return. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Make sure to check out our weekly Y&R spoilers, here. Victor Newman's strategy. Let's start off with Victor, who will continue planning Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, takedown. The man is working with Jack, but only for the time being and because it's important. So far, all the deals, threats, and bargains haven't worked on Kane. The tycoon keeps telling Victor no, and the man isn't used to being refused. In any case, Victor finds that Kane is trickier than he used to be. That's unsettling for him and makes it harder to pin down one strategy. In the past, Victor has had multiple strategies going on at once, and that's likely the case this time as well. Read more, find out what transpired in the most recent Y&R episode. Jack Abbott's trick. Over with Jack, he will work with Victor, but also have some of his own plans. Even though Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, won't work with Victor, I wonder if Jack will somehow get him involved, even if it's in secret. Claire Grace Newman's adventure. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, October 6th reveal that Claire Grace Newman, Haley Erin, will be getting ready for her trip to Los Angeles with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens. At first, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, thought Claire was going with Kyle. When she informed them that she's going with Holden, they both freaked out. So, Expect Victoria to plan to follow Claire to LA. Interestingly enough, Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will be in the big city as well to meet up with Noah Newman, Lucas Adams. So, I wonder how all these characters and storylines will intersect. Maybe we will also learn a bit more about Holden's past before coming to Genoa City. The Kingmaker's strategic move in Victor Newman's alliance. Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, has always been a man who thrives on control, whether it be over his empire, his foes, or his family. Yet, even for someone as cunning as the Mustache, the current storm circling Newman Enterprises is testing his limits. One of those rare occasions when Victor must lower his sword not out of weakness but rather out of strategy is indicated by his uneasy alliance with Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. Many in Genoa City are surprised by Jack's decision to side with Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn. After decades of feuding, betrayals, and corporate sabotage, the Newman-Abbott truce feels almost unnatural. But Victor, always pragmatic, knows better than anyone else that sometimes shaking hands with an old foe is the only way to defeat a formidable rival. Jack sees through Victor's charm, of course. He knows this alliance has an expiration date. As Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, wisely warns her husband, "You're not joining forces, Victor. You're setting a trap for each other." Her concern is not unfounded. Victor has a long history of using temporary partnerships to get what he wants, only to pull the rug from under his allies once the goal is achieved. Victor's confidence hasn't changed, though. Kane Ashby's recent rise, his refusal to take Victor's deals, his unpredictable maneuvers, and his newfound poise have irritated him to no end. Victor is not accustomed to hearing the word no, and Kane's defiance only fuels his obsession. If Kane can outmaneuver both Newman and Abbott, it could redefine the corporate landscape of Genoa City. Victor cannot tolerate that. Jack Abbott's attack agreement, the reluctant ally. Jack Abbott, always the more idealistic counterpart to Victor's ruthless pragmatism, approaches this alliance with cautious optimism. Beneath his composed exterior, Jack still carries the weight of years spent defending Jabot from both internal chaos and external attacks. Aligning with Victor is, in his mind, a necessary evil, one that may save his family's legacy but could also cost him his integrity. The contrasts between their meetings at Society are studied. Victor sips his scotch with slow precision, every word dripping with measured intent, while Jack leans forward, calculating each response like a chess player staring down a grandmaster. Despite its cordial nature, the conversation is fraught with hostility. Victor suggests an attack plan, which entails a coordinated attack to stop Kane's new venture. Jack listens but remains wary. "We've both played this game long enough to know how it ends," he warns. "With one of us falling down." Victor smirks. "Not this time, Jack. This time, we take him down together." The scene echoes the ghosts of previous betrayals, including failed mergers, stolen secrets, and shattered friendships, as the two titans shake hands. It's a chilling alliance, one forged in mutual necessity rather than trust. In addition, despite their agreement on a common foe, both men secretly plan their escape routes in the event that one of them betrays them first. Meanwhile, Nikki's unease grows. She knows Victor too well, the gleam in his eye, the slow curl of his smile, the way he enjoys the game almost more than the victory itself. Jack, for all his diplomacy, might be stepping into a trap that could cost him more than his company. Versus Jill Abbott, Billy Abbott, a conflict between legacy and love. The war between Jill Abbott, Jess Walton, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, strikes at something far more personal, the pain of family betrayal, if Victor and Jack's alliance represents the battle for corporate control. The relationship between mother and son has always been a volatile mixture of pride, resentment, and deep, unspoken love. A wound that never fully healed was reopened when Jill decided to sell Chancellor Industries to Victor Newman. To Billy, it was more than a business move, it was a personal betrayal that erased everything he thought their family stood for. Now, as the two come face to face once more, years of tension bubble to the surface. Jill brings an olive branch to the Abbott residence, but Billy's expression says it all: forgiveness is not an option. Billy yells, "You didn't just sell a company, Mom. You sold a piece of me. You sold what I was fighting for." Jill, who is always pragmatic, responds, "Billy, what exactly were you fighting for?" Another unrealized goal? Another crisis of conscience? I sold Chancellor to save it, not destroy it. The argument spirals, their voices echoing through the Abbott home like a storm. Old memories of missed birthdays, broken promises, and harsh words collide with new grievances. Jill's heart, fragile from both illness and regret, aches as she realizes how far apart they've grown. There's love here, buried beneath the anger. Billy feels pain because he longs to matter, to be seen as more than just a careless son or a failed executive. But his inability to let go of the past keeps him trapped. You always pick business over family, he accuses. Jill responds softly, and you always choose resentment over redemption. Her words cut deep. Billy's defenses fail for a brief time. He sees the woman who cared for him, raised him, and fought for him. She loved him in her own imperfect, ferocious way. Yet pride wins again, and he storms out, leaving Jill clutching her chest, not from anger, but from the ache of a mother losing her son once more. Ironically, both mother and son are like mirrors, driven, obstinate, and haunted by decisions they can't change. Their story serves as a reminder that in Genoa City, love and suffering frequently occur simultaneously. Nate Hastings' dilemma, the heart's divided path. While the corporate titans play their games, Dr. Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, faces a different kind of battle, one between the mind and the heart. His relationship with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, has been a whirlwind of passion, betrayal, and longing. Though he's tried to move on, Audra's reappearance in his life stirs emotions he thought he'd buried. Audra, never one to give up easily, finds Nate at Crimson Lights. You can pretend all you want, she says, her voice trembling. But you still care about me. Nate turns his back. Trusting is not the same as caring. This exchange encapsulates the essence of their dynamic, an intoxicating mixture of attraction and suspicion. Nate, a man guided by principles, struggles to reconcile his heart with his head. Audra, driven by ambition but softened by regret, wants to prove she's changed. Her plea for forgiveness isn't just about rekindling romance, it's about redemption. I lost everything when I lost you, she admits. The deals, the power, none of it mattered. Nate's faith in her is now in question. Genoa City has a long memory, and second chances often come with a price. Still, the tenderness in his eyes suggests a crack in his armor. Perhaps this time, love might win, or perhaps, as history often proves, it will destroy them both. Claire Grace Newman's adventure, Innocence in the Crossfire. Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and Claire Grace Newman, Haley Erin, represent a new generation caught up in the chaos as the power brokers of Genoa City clash. Their decision to escape to Los Angeles feels impulsive, but also liberating, a rebellion against the control and expectations that come with being part of the Newman legacy. Victoria, Amelia Heinley, and Nikki, Melody Thomas Scott, react with predictable panic. The thought of Claire traveling with Holden, a man they barely know, sends alarm bells ringing. You think you're protecting her, Victoria argues with her mother, but she's not a little girl anymore. She needs to make her own mistakes. What neither realizes is that Holden's past may be far more complicated than they suspect. Whispers in Genoa City suggest he's not just a charming newcomer, that his connection to Kane Ashby might be deeper than anyone realizes. If that is the case, Claire's romantic escape may develop into a perilous tangle. Nick, Joshua Morrow, and Sharon Case, are preparing for their own trip to Los Angeles to see Noah, Lucas Adams, across the city. The convergence of these storylines hints at something larger, a fateful meeting in the City of Angels that could expose hidden truths and set off a chain of revelations. Jack's trick, Audra's war, Victor's takedown, Monday's reckoning. As the dust settles from Friday's chaos, Monday brings a new wave of drama and deception. Jack Abbott, though working alongside Victor, begins to play his own game. Knowing that Victor's loyalty is as thin as smoke, Jack devises a backup plan, a secret move that could protect Jabbo even if the Newman deal goes sideways. Some speculate that Billy might be part of this plan, even without Victor's knowledge. It would be a risky gamble, but Jack has always believed that no one understands the art of betrayal better than the Abbotts. Victor, meanwhile, intensifies his takedown strategy. Every phone call, every whisper in the corporate world seems to carry his imprint. He's manipulating the market, seeding misinformation, and using his influence to isolate Kane. Yet, despite all his power, something feels off. Kane's countermoves are precise, almost anticipatory, as if he knows Victor's playbook by heart. That realization unsettles Victor more than he'll admit. Someone's feeding him information, he growls to Michael Baldwin, Christian LeBlanc. Discover who. The irony, of course, is that the leak may come from closer to home, perhaps even within Jack's circle. Meanwhile, in the emotional battlefield of Genoa City, Audra Charles fights her own war. Her dynamic with Kyle Abbott, Michael Miller, takes a darker turn as passion and manipulation intertwine. They reach a point of no return, a breaking moment where desire collides with distrust. She was pierced like ice by Kyle's words, "You're poison, Audra." Additionally, "I overdrank." Her silence afterward is haunting. For all her confidence, Audra's greatest fear has always been losing control, and now, it seems, she's losing everything. The symbolism of power and forgiveness. What makes this arc of The Young and the Restless so compelling is how it mirrors the eternal themes of the show: ambition, betrayal, and the constant search for redemption. Victor and Jack's alliance is not just about business, it's a meditation on control. Both men have established empires on the backs of both adversaries and allies. Yet, as they grow older, they begin to realize that control is an illusion. In joining forces, they're also confronting their own mortality, the fear that time and legacy may slip through their fingers. Billy and Jill's feud reflects the generational pain that echoes through the Abbott family. It's a story about expectations, about the weight of legacy, and the struggle to reconcile the past with the present. Jill's love for Billy is fierce but flawed, Billy's anger, righteous but destructive. Their scenes serve as a reminder to the audience that sometimes the only way forward is forgiveness, even if it is hard to get. Nate's struggle symbolizes the crossroads between ambition and authenticity. His relationship with Audra forces him to ask, what kind of man does he want to be? The healer or the opportunist? The man who saves people or the man who saves himself? And finally, Claire's storyline introduces a sense of innocence amid the chaos. Her journey to Los Angeles with Holden might seem small in scale, but narratively, it represents the cycle of generational rebellion, the desire of the young to escape the sins of their parents, even as they unknowingly inherit them. The week ahead, crossroads and consequences. By the end of this arc, every character will be changed. Victor and Jack's truce will crumble as both discover the other's secret maneuvers. Their mutual respect will evolve into mutual distrust, a familiar dance that never truly ends. Billy and Jill's confrontation will leave emotional scars, but also a glimmer of reconciliation. When Jill suffers another health scare, Billy's anger will fade, replaced by guilt and a realization that time is running out to make peace. Nate's decision will define his next chapter. He puts his stability at risk if he forgives Audra. If he rejects her, he risks his heart. Either way, his choice will have ripple effects across Newman Media. Claire's trip will unveil secrets about Holden that could tie him to Kane's larger game, drawing the younger generation into the web of the Newmans and Abbotts once again. And through it all, the central theme remains. In Genoa City, every alliance comes with a price, every love hides a secret, and every victory carries the shadow of betrayal. Conclusion: the calm before the next storm. The Young and the Restless has always thrived on cycles: love found and lost, power gained and destroyed, families torn apart and stitched back together. The week of October 3rd to 6, 2025, encapsulates everything that makes the show timeless. It's not just about boardrooms and deals, it's about people fighting for connection in a world where loyalty is currency and forgiveness is luxury. Victor and Jack's uneasy handshake, Billy's rage, Jill's heartbreak, Nate's indecision, and Claire's naive courage, these threads intertwine into a tapestry of humanity at its most flawed and fascinating. And as the credits roll on Monday's episode, one thing becomes clear: the battle for Genoa City is far from over. Because in this town, every ending is just another beginning.